Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to call this public hearing of council to order on March 23rd. Thanks for attending. This public hearing is being held for council's consideration of proposed amendments to the municipal planning strategy and land use bylaw. Council is considering amendments to establish a framework for large-scale housing and community development. The proposed amendments would require a development agreement for such developments in the large lot residential R5 zone, add definitions for large-scale housing and community development and multi-unit dwelling community, and clarify when coordinated residential developments are considered under a development agreement within the land use bylaw. The purpose of these amendments is to align policy direction with regulatory implementation for more complex residential developments. This hearing is an opportunity for the public to share their views before council makes a decision. We will begin tonight or this afternoon with planning staff. They will present the proposed amendments. We will then invite members of the public who wish to speak. Each speaker will have up to 5 minutes. And we ask you to state your name and address when speaking or before speaking. All comments will be directed through the chair. And just a reminder that council will not be making any decisions at this hearing, so there will be no debate. So I will open the floor now to Director Shoup.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. I'm going to present on some housekeeping amendments that we have for the high-density residential R4 and large lot residential R5 zones. Basically, we're getting caught up with some amendments that were passed back in 2024 and October 2024 that weren't fully implemented in our planning documents. So now we're making sure that they do that. First off, what's being introduced tonight, a couple of concepts. The multi-unit dwelling community is one for the high-density residential zone, so we have a new definition for that. So it would allow multiple multi-unit buildings planned and developed as a single integrated community, and it may occur on a single lot or multiple adjoining lots and would be reviewed as a coordinated development rather than individual buildings. The second one with a new definition is large-scale housing and community developments, which would be permitted in the large lot residential R5 zone. These would be comprehensive, often phased developments on larger land holdings and may include a mix of housing types in open space, and these are intended to be reviewed through a comprehensive approval process. The primary difference between these two types of developments is one of scale. The multi-unit dwelling community is more of a medium scale development, and larger scale is obviously a larger scale. So this would take place within the existing policy framework of GD5, which sets out the types of developments that would be considered by development agreement. It currently applies only to mini home parks, non-conforming uses, and expansions of non-conforming structures. And as I mentioned earlier, in October 2024, Council approved the implementation language intended to enable both of these types of developments. And this intention was not fully articulated or incorporated in the municipal planning strategy and land use bylaw at that time. So that's, again, we're playing catch up a little bit with that. With respect to the land use bylaw amendments, the amendments are contemplated for development agreements. Again, those two new forms of development that I just described. Previous land use bylaw amendments partially introduced implementation language for the development of the multi-unit dwelling community. However, no language was implemented for large-scale housing and community developments, and nor were formal definitions included at that time. So the current amendments would introduce these definitions and align the land use bylaw and the municipal planning strategy policy. So in terms of the proposed amendments to the MPS, we'd be adding the large-scale housing community developments to the R5 zone. And again, this applies where scale, phasing, and servicing warrants more comprehensive planning. And on the land use bylaw side for the amendments proposed there, we'd be adding the large-scale housing community developments to section 4.1.9 and adding multi-unit dwelling communities to section 4.1.9 as well. Those are the sections which delineate the types of development that can be considered by development agreement, and again, adding the definitions. So that concludes That concludes the presentation for tonight, and be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Director. Are there any questions of clarification for Director Shoup based on this? Okay, I'll now invite up any members of the public who may want to come up and speak. There are none, so I will thank you, Director, for presenting that, and I will adjourn this public hearing. Thank you.